Affordable housing, community programs, public safety. These are just three stated points that Louisville's mayor says are priorities for next year's budget. In this nearly $1 billion proposal for 2026 and 27, there are $200 million set aside for one-time investments. These are items like libraries or parks. Moreover, Mayor Greenberg said the budget will include raises for city workers without requiring a tax increase on regular people. Wave News reporter Julia Richardson shares details on how this vision would impact the city.
With every investment, every decision, every line in this budget, there's someone we can help.
Mayor Craig Greenberg says the budget was tight this year, but the biggest goal is supporting Louisville families and kids. A big part of the budget, over $20 million towards affordable housing initiatives, like demolishing Dosker Manor and adding money to bring more options to the metro.
So far, we've invested $40 million through the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, supporting projects that have already created more than 7,000 units. But we all know that's not enough.
Another focus, public safety. Greenberg wants to continue to fund partnerships with the Boys and Girls Club and Community Connections, but also grow the technology and training that the police department has. That includes a pilot program for LMPD that will allow officers to better track suspects on the run and cut down on police pursuits.
In 2025, we saw fewer shootings than at any year in the past decade, down 40% in the time that I've been mayor. Homicides, robberies, carjacking, street racings, and takeovers are all down too. But this is not progress we celebrate. We must do better.
Parks, libraries, and early childhood education programs are also priorities within the budget.
The mayor presented a fiscally responsible budget that makes investments in public safety, quality of life, infrastructure, while helping those most vulnerable among us in our community. Really applaud at least the highlights that he shared today.
For Kevin Kramer and Marcus Winkler, chair and co-chair of Louisville Metro's Budget Committee, the next few weeks will look like delving deeper into the details of the budget. They say the budget includes projects in every part of the city and has elements that people can support across both sides of the aisle.
The fact that we are able to do the things that we're able to do without raising taxes is really, really impressive.
Julia Richardson, Wave News.
And Metro Council members will dive into the details of the budget again in the coming weeks in a series of meetings before they ultimately approve it. The budget itself is a lengthy document. If you'd like to look a little bit more at specific funding breakdowns, we do have this included in our report on wave3.com.